So you missed our webinar on giving virtual presentations and eLightning posters? That's okay, we have a quick wrap up for you. First off, why are presentations valuable? Well, they're good for your CV or your resume, but other than that, they allow you to kind of put the stake down in your research area and introduce yourself to your colleagues. You can get great feedback and input on your research, figure out what other folks are doing, and through that process, potentially find new collaborators with whom you can work. And the collaboration part is really important because you can form these kind of relationships that you wouldn't have otherwise, and you can keep these relationships going for years and years to come and kind of help the overall pursuit of science and collaboration. Some things to remember when presenting. Almost no one knows what you're talking about. Unless they're really in your subdiscipline, remember that your audience is gonna be broad, even if they are an audience of other scientists. And so if there are things you put in there that folks might not necessarily understand, for example, like jargon, make sure you reduce jargon, reduce the number of acronyms or whatever it might be to ensure that folks can understand you. We have to use jargon, totally, but you can definitely reduce it where it's not necessary. Also provide enough context and background, and make sure you expand on the implications so that folks in other disciplines, or maybe not even in the sciences, can understand not only what you're doing, but why it's important and why you care so much about it. Some basic presentation tips, again, virtual or otherwise. Reduce the text on your slides and try not to read from them. We can tell. We can tell when you're reading from your slides, it's not engaging, and it's less likely that your audience will care about what you're doing. Also, keep in mind that you don't want to get bogged down in the details. People aren't there for you to read directly from your manuscript or your thesis or whatever it might be. They're there to hear a summary, and they want to stay engaged and interested in what you're doing. You also want to make sure that you practice, but don't memorize. Similar to reading off the slides, folks can tell when your presentation's memorized, and it's not engaging. Why would people come to a presentation to just hear you read off of something, whether it's from a sheet or in your mind? Practice, don't memorize. And finally, be dynamic. This might be hard in the virtual world, but try to be more animated. Try to show your personality. Show why you care about what you do. And that excitement will be infectious and help other people be interested in your work. Some things for the virtual world specifically. Be casual, be comfortable, and also prepare for the unexpected. Some of us might have children or pets or things that might happen in the background. That's okay. Many of us are in a similar situation. We're much more forgiving than we might be otherwise in a conference room or something like that. So just keep these things in mind. Some other things for the virtual presentation world specifically. Figure out where your camera is. Is it right in front of you versus off to the side? It'll make a big difference where you're looking. What's your background? Is it too busy? Is it a flat screen? You don't want people to be distracted by what's behind you. You want them listening to you and what you're doing. And also, are you using a microphone? Are you using a headset? These small things can make a world of difference. Getting specifically to eLightning posters and presentations. So this is not the traditional poster. You can't just go in, upload a PDF, and be done. There are templates where you upload individual content to individual parts of the template. And a way you can think about this is to storyboard your presentation to get a better idea of how you want the presentation to flow and how it is different from a normal poster or presentation. And with that, you only have a few minutes to do this. So think about kind of inverting the way that you talk about things to throw out the stuff out there first that people will really be interested in, and having less time for things like methods and really granular detailed things. That's it for this one. We hope you follow us on Twitter and check out our website.